Hello and welcome into the room of Tea Time. I am going to be speaking to you today about a story I read. And this was earlier today that I read the story. I thought it was very interesting. And I'm going to call the lady Dee Dee or Della, and I'm going to call the gentleman named Sam. Now, this is the breakdown. I'm sharing this story because it's important for people to know that men get played too. Women have been looked at as the ones that get played by men, and not really taken seriously or really appreciated by men. But there are some women who do men that way too. And I want to bring this story out because um, just like a woman, again, can be delicate and not really respected for who she is. It's something about when a man is disrespected or taken for granted by a woman. It gets really real. Sometimes they show their emotions in a certain way that's surprising because men are seen as strong and patriotic and really dominant in character. But a woman, the right woman, can break a man down. No matter how strong that man is physically, he can become weak over a woman. So this lady named Dee Dee, who I'm calling her, um, Della is another nickname for her, met this guy named Sam. Okay, Sam was anointed, good looking, built. Now, he was the prize. All right, in his territory. But see, the thing about it, he knew who he was. Very confident now. Sam was so confident. Oh my goodness. He was able to do some things that you cannot do in the natural. Sam has some supernatural strength. Now, he fell in love with a girl. Okay? Beautiful, queenly like lady named Della. Okay? And Dee Dee got his attention so strong. He was just like, look, he wanted to, her to be his woman. Now, the story I read doesn't tell us that he actually married her, but it did tell us he had a wife before that. Now, his first wife, unfortunately, there were some things that happened, and she was no longer around because of how the people that she had encountered, initially, they didn't do her right. So that, unfortunately, was the end to that. But moving forward with this new young lady, Sam thought he was going to have a new life with this situation. Again, the story didn't tell me that this was his second wife. It just says it was a woman he fell in love with. And she lived in the valley of Sorek. Okay? Now, the time of this story, because it is a true story, okay? I'm not making this up. This stuff you cannot make up. She had some people though that she was like um, lived in the same neighborhood with, same background, same ethnicity. It appears that wanted to get to Sam because they didn't really care for him, all right? But so they used her. Now they enticed her to go to him and try to get him to give him give her some information that they were looking for, and they charmed her and told her they would hook her up. Okay, they went to her and they told her specifically that they would give her 1,100 pieces of silver each. But the story doesn't tell us how many of these people, these high officials, they were that told her they would give her that. So, if you want to look it up, you can to see how much 1,100 pieces of silver equates to today's foreign currency, because it can vary from season to season. So, anywho, she decided to go along with this. Now, that's really, really sad. But her name actually means delicate, okay? So, or it also means one who weakened. that makes you question whether her loyalty was to this man at any given point. Did she really love him before she was bribed, or did she turn away from him because of the money? That was a lot of money now. 1,100 pieces of silver per official. That was enough for her to sell him out. Now you gotta remember, there was another one who was sold out for some silver. Now it was 30 pieces of silver in this other situation. And I'm talking about Jesus. Judas sold Jesus out for 30 pieces of silver. Now, this young lady back in the day, she sold her husband, well, her man, because I don't know if that was her actual husband, okay, for 1,100 pieces per person. They gave her that. So Jesus was sold for a whole lot less. Well, he wasn't sold. He was, how can I put it? He was um, given over by his right hand person Judas for that amount, which was a lot less than what Della or Didi was given. So one thing about Didi, her stakes was high. She she probably would not have done it if it was a lot less than that. But the question is, what was she gonna do with the money? She had the man that she wanted. She didn't have to take the bribe. She wasn't threatened, all right, like his first wife was. Well, I don't want to keep making a mistake of saying first wife. We know, well, the story only tells us about one wife who was threatened now by these certain people, okay, if she did not like try to entice Sam to give her information that they wanted. But anyway, they were able to bribe Didi to get Sam to tell her the secret that they wanted. And unfortunately, Sam did give in because she nagged the mess out of him. And over time, he got weak in his mental authority and gave in to her. And so, in return, she turned him over, got paid now, and went on about her business. And I'm sharing this because, again, it's important for men to pay attention too. Men can get weak, no matter how strong physically, no matter how strong they appear to be. A man can be broken down by a woman. And a man of God has to keep his eyes on Jesus, because Sam was anointed now. Sam was a man of God. He was, he knew who he was confident, but he didn't stay true to his vows, his walk. He didn't stay faithful to God. He did get distracted. He got caught up because he was looking at the flesh, and he was looking at what appealed to him in the flesh, and he wasn't really at that time focused. She was able to get to him, and he loved her so much with his heart, he wasn't thinking with his mind. So I hope this story has found you well. And if you're a man listening to this, I hope you really get this, especially if you're a man who does love Jesus. Don't let your works go in vain. Don't let all that you have worked for in the kingdom of God and built for God's empire, all right, to become weak because of a female that no question marks, all right, in that area. God did not send that woman to you. You know that you should not have a relationship with this woman. The Lord has not given you, and you have not consummated a marriage that was right before the Lord with this lady. And you're doing things inappropriately that's not kingdom value, and you're yet still operating in kingdom stuff. You want to change away from that. You want to run from that, okay? I know it's easy to say, especially when you get distracted, you get caught up into it. No, your flesh is weak, and it's not necessarily as easy as to just turn it off like a fountain of water or a faucet. But when you reconnect your values and you understand that your values and your love for God must be much greater than the values of the flesh, then you will stop that. Because remember all that you did for the Lord. Remember all that He built up inside of you. Recall on how He took you from nowhere and brought you somewhere, and how He gets the glory out of that. And look back and reflect on how blessed you are versus how blessed you were not at one time. And if you can embrace this, And if this message is really, really for you, I hope that you do the right thing, okay? Because it's going to make a difference. And until the next time you sit with me, stay focused and enjoy your tea.